I'm so excited to see y'all. It's Rachel with Pretty & Plants, and I have not been on here for a couple weeks here. This is Pretty & Plants. I do plant stuff and leca, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so excited to see y'all. Sewing mask and doing all that stuff. Yesterday I sewed 14 hours, and I actually had my husband help me. So today I put sold out on the Etsy site so I could do this YouTube, and so much has happened, but I want to get right into it. Today I counted every plant that I had. I wanted to get a plant count in leca and how many plants I had in dirt. So y'all ready for the drum roll? Okay, so number of plants in leca was 125 and number of plants in dirt was 5. And so I went through every plant in the house. I've had a lot of these plants in leca now since last July or so. And between July and December is when I did a huge amount of plants out of dirt into leca. I've done 65 videos. So if you're new here and you're new to leca, definitely go and binge watch my show. I do it. I come from an orchid. I did orchids before, so orchids are definitely RO water. So I don't measure the pH. If you're new here, I just have my one nutrient system. I added some extra nutrients called bloom, quite a bit of white on some of my plants, which meant to me it was too many nutrients for a lot of my plants. Once I added a second dose of nutrients, it was too much. So it seems to, I know most of y'all doing leca do a 3-part system. That was way too much for my plants. I was getting tons of white residue on the top of the leca, and I ended up switching to one nutrient. Now, out of the 120 plants, I'm going to give the report. So let me look at my notes. Out of the 120 plants, 2 of them needed to be soaked. So I was pretty pleased with that. I only had to take 2. My Prince of Orange had so much white crystal on the roots, the leca pebbles, and I specifically remember watering him with the extra nutrient in the water, and it only took 1 time for him to get all of that white stuff. Do too many nutrients because it causes you a lot more work, and in the end you're going to do a lot more soaking of your plant. I'm in RO water all the way to the top, and I set the timer. Really all it needs is 10 minutes, but I needed time, and so I set it for an hour. Then when you're done, all of the white stuff will be in little hard balls kind of floating on the top of the water. You flush out that, you put it back in its pot, and I went ahead and gave it some nutrient water and put it back in its place. Now I have not checked all of my plants. I was in the habit of misting and checking each plant. Well, when this all happened, I kind of said goodbye to my plants, and I switched gears really quickly. Well, so it's kind of like I've been on vacation for 21 days, but in my house. So I haven't given my plants very much attention at all. If they look like they need water, I give them water. I haven't been misting them. I haven't been doing much for them at all. So I want to tell y'all that all of them have just done pretty incredibly. These behind me I'm on the balcony right now, and these behind me are a little dry. All of these behind me are in leca, and if you missed the Instagram live, the IG live, I planted some ginger in leca. This is so cool. So I was sitting up here for the IG live. This is the ginger. You buy it from the store, and then these are still, and you soak it overnight or you soak it for 24 hours in water, but you'll start seeing that they grow these little nodes on the top in the water. And then when you plant it in leca, you just put it 2 inches under the leca, and you want the nodes facing up, and then green leaves will start coming out of the nodes. This is what I planted my ginger in. I don't know what that is on the bottom. So it's only been 2 days, 3 days since it's been in here. Uh-oh, that one's not deep enough in the leca. It's going to dry out. Ooh, I need to bury it a little bit better. Anyway, you don't need nutrients the first 2 or 3 waterings. And then you can have ginger, which is really cool. The roots love how arid the leca is, and hers is big. I mean, she's only had it a couple months. She said you don't harvest it for a year, but in the meantime, you have this really pretty plant. This was I had an unboxing on IG Live. This was my unboxing. It's one of my new plants, Ficus triangularis from NSC Tropicals. I'll link them down below. They're wonderful. Pushing, getting all these plants out of leca. Now, I think I did have 130 or 140. I took some to the office. Some died. Some I've given to other people. So I'm right at the 125 mark. And honestly, I'm pretty good. Like, I really feel kind of satiated. And now this fruit, one of the fruit trees behind me, I have a blueberry tree. That one's in leca, and it's already seemingly adapted. I'm going to put an orange tree, a couple of apple trees in leca. So fruit trees are kind of, I'm going to do a few of those up here on the balcony. I'm excited about that. But I must say the 5 plants in dirt, I've gotten to the point now after doing this for 8 months that I absolutely hate plants in dirt. I mean, I didn't like it before, but now I really don't like it. If they get a yellow leaf, oh, before I go into that, the 120, what are you looking for? You should probably do this every 3 months. Every 3 months, or every, so many months, set aside one day. If you don't mist, now see what I did is I misted before, and every time I missed my plants, I could check underneath. I could see if they had yellow leaves. I could see just issues, if they had any issues. Totally ignoring my plants for the whole month. This was a very valuable thing for me to just take one day and take a big jug of water and just do each plant on the same day. I just love the ease of it because I have literally not had to give my plants any attention in 3 weeks. So I was looking for, I found yellow leaves on a couple of them. And then I found the 2 that had the white concentrate kind of on the leca. ZZ plant, I feel like is taking a long time to adapt. My big one, I feel like it's been 2 months since I did the ZZ plant. Those to me are kind of a nail biter, a little bit more than some of my other plants in leca. However, it's worth it. I mean, once they adapt, it's just worth every minute you spent taking it off the dirt and putting them in leca. I still have a ZZ plant in leca, and I am hesitant in dirt, and I'm hesitant to put it over. This new triangularis is one of the ones in dirt. I have the gorgeous ficus, a rubber tree that's like a dark burgundy red. It's in dirt. I need to convert it. Cool in leca. The yucca tree that's really pretty. I think I put it on my Insta. Very pretty, like no hassle tree. Only needs to be watered once a month in dirt. That one is in dirt still. I got that from IKEA right before all this happened. What I did was I went to the office and I had ignored those plants for a month. Took some water, watered them back up. They perked all back up, and just, I can't even tell y'all. If you haven't made the leca leap, make it now, because now is such a good time. I want to say some of my trees, my ficus lyrata, and some of mine that had such a hard time converting in December, I've gotten a couple of new ficus lyrata, the fiddle leaf fig. They had no problems converting. So now is the time to convert if you're going to do that. Question of the day: what has been one of your favorite memories or favorite moments during this 3-week period, this month-long period of being quarantined? There have been a lot of probably breakdowns and sad moments and that kind of thing, but go back through your photo stream and just see, oh wow, I really loved that moment when. I'd love to know what your answer is. Put it down in the comments below. When this first happened, I went to Target and I got hula hoops and I got $2 kites and I got balloons that glow in the dark. And I told the kids we're going to have a quarantine party like once a day or once every 2 days for a week or two. I've kind of run out of quarantine parties. But the night that we blew up the glow-in-the-dark balloons, they're real cheap things, but it was fun. Like when it was really windy one day, we just all took the $2, I have 5 kids, we took the $2 kites outside and we all flew our kites and we did competitions. Who can hula hoop the longest and who can fly their kite the longest. And so one night we blew up these balloons and we put really loud music on. I'm sure our neighbors really appreciated us that night. And we all got on the trampoline and we jumped with the glow-in-the-dark balloons on the trampoline. And it was just such a fun moment for our family. And so we've had a few of those lights in the darkness during this time for our family. And so I'd love to hear what yours are, like what, something just really positive that's come out of this kind of strange moment in time. Really cool about a time like this, it doesn't really matter what's going on in the world. Our plants are still going to grow new leaves and our plants are still going to perform for us and they are still going to adapt to LECA and love it, and they're still going to grow 25% faster. So I'm actually pretty optimistic. I know there's, a lot of other things we could talk about, but I love the fact that the plants are pretty consistent, and hope you're loving this YouTube, and I'm hoping that I'm going to start posting again like at least once a week and doing a couple of Instagrams a week during all of my sewing time. There'll be a couple of days where I'll say sold out on my store so I can kind of stay connected with y'all. Love y'all so much. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.